Hello and welcome back to our 5th edition of our EdPuzzle. Wanted to go over, again, I'm going to kind of go through these pretty quickly, but just things to touch base on so that you know that you've heard. So first off, Grandparents' Day, that's an easy one. January 22nd is the next date that we have assigned. Hopefully we don't have to reschedule that one. And I'm going to a PTO meeting tonight to make sure that we still have volunteers. We had volunteers from PTO, which is awesome because that can get the teachers back in the classrooms. Hopefully we can get some volunteers for January 22nd as well. So that's to be determined or to be decided. But that's when it is. Grandparents' Day, we're going to run it the same way and so on. And the forms that tell them about the rescheduled date is coming soon. If it hasn't went home already. They were copying it today. Title I night, again, to be determined. We were going to do it on the 16th, but they changed that date. So we're going to figure out a new date for the Title I night. We do want to have Kona Ice there. So Title I people will be looking into that. I did want to let everybody know that we are doing a book study, Beth and myself, Deanna, on explicit instruction. It's a really good book so far. Again, these book studies are now kind of intertwined with part FaceTime and part FaceTime meaning face in class time and part on your own and through Google. So there's not as many meetings after school, and that's really handy. But lots of new strategies you've done, but lots of good information. Completely on a different topic, I'm going to go to some recycle information. We're all using those recycle boxes outside our classroom, but when you're in the teacher workroom, the clear bag, which is in the yellow trash can, that's recycle things. So it can be plastic, it can be paper, but that's what that's for. So if you're throwing away a stack of something or paper-wise that could be recycled, it goes in there. That's the same as what you'd throw in the red box versus I think it's a gray trash can, but it's a black trash bag. They always keep that the same, and they're always both in that workroom just to make sure that the custodians aren't having to sift through that and change anything, because if not, it's all going to trash versus recycling some things, and we want to take care of our environment. So that was a quick one. The DLT meeting is going to be this week. It's different that it's on a day that we have a staff meeting and so on, a 2-hour delay, but we're going to do that this time and see how it goes. Our intent is to still do student interviews, but those should be in the afternoon, and more information will be coming about that. So staff DLT members will be at the staff meeting, will be at the TBT meetings, and then they will go to the Aero conference room following that portion. I said student interviews. Student interviews are going to be at this point from 12:15 to around 1. So again, some of you will be at lunch. Just make sure that particular day to put in your plan if you're not going to be here, to be sending specific people. So we had said before, we've done high, medium, low, like within your pod. We've also just done a number. I will let you know that before Wednesday. I did want to let you know that PBIS and PACS training, we've got 3 dates coming up, and we've got a group of staff that are going to that, all 3 days of those. It's January 10th, which is Friday, February 6th, and March 4th. The staff attending is going to be Sherry, Kayla, Megan Wagner, Jennifer Rose, and myself. So thank you all for being willing to go to that. We're going to figure out, again, it's a whole series. You have to go to all 3. But that's going to give us more information on how the two intertwine and how the PACS fits in and how PBIS is not exclusionary. So we need to look more at that. And we'll be bringing information back as we can. We have just recently, I just came back from a meeting today, we have 2 new mental health counselors. Mental health counselors are different than guidance counselors. So again, more information coming on that. But that's really good information, really good news for our kids that they will have people, more people to talk to. Not sure how and where they're being housed yet, still working on those. A reminder about drills. We do have a safety drill coming up this Thursday, the 9th at 2 o'clock. We also, just when we're having fire drills, make sure that whoever's closest to the wood door at the end of the hallway, close those wood doors as people have exited, along with your classroom door, and whoever is the last one out, close the doors at the end of the hallway. Those were just reminders from the fire department. And about the safety buttons. Again, we have those on every end room. So Mrs. Priest, Mrs. Mishler, and Mrs. Cooper, my office, AJ has one. They have one in the kitchen as well. And anybody can press that button. It's just a matter of, you knowing where those buttons are if needed. In the morning message this week, I did put the R Factor nomination list. So if you have any questions, please see someone from the R Factor team to get more information on that. Just FYI, January is board recognition month. In the past, we've done a carry-in, so we maybe need to ask if we're going to do that in January, if we'd like to invite Sue Ann, if we don't have one planned, if we should plan one. The Optimist Club is extending the fire pit raffle. So that was going to be picked today, and we're waiting and doing it on February 6th. So if you are interested in putting in for that fire pit and all of the things that were included in that, please see me and I can get you what you need. I keep talking about this science in the studio. This is some STEM information that we can have. We want to bring more STEM activities, here at school, so we can, instead of losing kids to go to STEM, we can tell and explain to parents, we're doing lots of that here, and here's how. Here are some ways that we're going to learn even more. It's with Science in the Studio, and it's July 29th and 30th. That is, last year we did have 2 teachers that were willing to go. This year we have 2 teachers that are willing to go, but those are now... We need more teachers is what it sounds like. Last year it did get canceled. I hope that doesn't happen this year. I did want to also mention that we have some neat things going on. Kayla has joined our technology team, so we're very happy about that. And then Mrs. Green has done some neat technology things with a classroom for a Christmas project with a pod. They worked on a Christmas ornament. The families came in, they did a flip grid with a QR code, and that way that's on that ornament forever. And so if there's any need or neat project you'd like to do where you'd like it to be similar to that, those parents now for the rest of however long are going to be able to click on that QR code and pull up that memory of, they were talking about what traditions they have, things like that, on that ornament. So as precious as the ornaments are that your kids make, think of how much cooler with technology they've been able to make that this year. So again, if you've got an activity, see Angie and she can help you with all of that. Also, Angie's looking in. She's got a couple neat books and book studies she'd like to be doing here soon. So more information to come on that. And those are also going to be like the book study I mentioned earlier, where they can be 1 meeting time, 2 meeting times face-to-face, 0 meeting times face-to-face, all via Google. So think about that, because again, that's been a barrier for book studies in the past. Just a reminder, again, I've got my Star Wars and my Yoda back here. Notice Yoda is doing yoga. So I thought that was pretty neat. They were able to find that for me. But again, thinking of all of those R Factor pieces that we need to do and we need to think about as we're going into each and every day, about centering and our balance and our thought of how we're going to tackle each thing that comes at us each day with grace. So kind of being mindful of those things. So with that being said, have you been working on your word? Are you still thinking about that? So have a great day. Again, our staff meeting is Wednesday, and I will see you then. Let's have a great second semester.